JJ's got sirens going on.
I can kind of go down there. I don't know what that is. That should go away.
We're live, boys.
We're live, knuckleheads. Danny, you going?
Yeah, you're supposed to point at me. Welcome back, listeners, to the Brighter Side of Blue, our worldwide podcast, coming to you live from Columbo's Cafe and Tavern in Dogtown, St. Louis, and Naples, Florida. And JJ, where are you?
I'm in Newport Beach, California, visiting my
So
daughter.
we're all over the we got the Midwest, the Southeast, and California covered live, but we're in the studio at the home of the Seabo's Thin Crust Pizza and Daily Lunch Specials. I'm Danny.
I'm Tommy.
I'm JJ, and I'm about to check out.
Yeah, that sirens are back.
Peace, boys. Have a good time. I'm out.
All right.
All right, JJ. Good night.
All right,
Go back
guys.
to sleep.
Bye.
You look good, man. You look good. That was good. Tommy, who do you have on your wing? They look some handsome, distinguished-looking fellas.
Thank you
for this live show.
Absolutely. I got one of my old partners, John Heffley, to my right, to your guys' left, and my academy classmate, Vince Stalen, to my left.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Good to see you, fellas.
Nice to see you, Dan.
Hey, Vinny,
Yes, sir.
let's start off with a question for you. You're classmates with Tommy?
Yep, that's true. 88 too.
Okay, about 3 weeks ago, he was on the podcast telling us that he scored a 29 on his ACT. Was he a smart student in the academy?
I never seen him open a book, ever. Like we made flashcards and stuff for tests. Nah, not him. So everybody was in alphabetical order, so I kind of saw what he was doing. I said, "Please teach me the way."
Teach me the way.
So he came by and picked me up one night in his little Ford Escort, and we shot down to Clark's over on Sluice campus, and took in a lot of drinks. And at the end of the night, we went home, and I was completely out of my mind. I said, I thought you were going to show me how to do this. And he said, I did. Just go in and read your notes now. You'll retain everything. It didn't work. He got a 94, and I got like a 73.
You believe he got a 29 on his ACT? I'm pretty sure I got a 19. And
Heff, what'd you get?
I don't know. It's good enough to get into college, but it's so long ago. I don't even remember what I scored on the ACT. I don't even know if I took the ACT or the SAT, to be honest with
I think you took the ACT. That's what was
Probably.
big back in the day.
you. Yeah. And we're all from South City, similar high schools, so
He's
probably
very
you're probably
eclectic.
right.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good though. I think we all took the ACT scores. Tommy,
20-something.
because I'm not going to stay with you guys long from Naples. I got to get in this pool. My son's coming here with another couple of his old baseball players. How'd that interview go today with the number one money-making DEA informant of all time?
Yeah, today earlier we had a chance to interview a guy by the name of Andrew Chambers with Jack and also with Jack Riley and Joe Cronin for the Federal Friday edition, and it was pretty neat. The guy, what you think of a normal informant or a normal what you call them snitch is that they're trying to work off a case, right?
Right.
And, what's going on, John? What do you got?
A lot of frustration.
Right. Can you turn my mic or my earphones down? It's loud as a... But yeah, we had Andrew on, and Andrew is a lot different than other informants, and the main reason is he was never had a case. He never got locked up. He was never trying to work off anything. He's never trying to work for anybody except himself because he got paid. But the story starts out that he just walked into the St. Louis DEA office, and the next thing you know, he's the number one informant in DEA history. So, and it started in 1984. So it's a
And
great
never
story,
was
and that'll
working
be
off
out
the case.
on Monday. Yep, that'll be out on Monday.
Holy cow. He had never had to work off a case. He just did it on his own fruition.
Right, and when he went in, he says, "What do you need to be a DEA agent?" And he sounded like a lot of young coppers that we've heard over the years, including some of us, I'm sure. He didn't want to do no time as in uniform or anything like that. He wanted to go right into the action. So and then without having his degree, they just said you can't do it. And then that day he went out and came back that day after he met a drug dealer on the street. came back that day, and he was an informant, or he was a paid informant for the rest of his life, and made over $4 million. So
Oh my
it was
God.
it was a pretty neat interview. So
That comes
was
out
that.
Monday.
That's
Well,
comes
I
out
tell you
Monday.
what, we're on fire. We got him coming out Monday. We have Nathan Speece coming on next Thursday. I want a packed crowd for that. Standing
Yes.
room only at Columbo's.
Yes, that would be nice. Hold on one second. I want to try to help. Go ahead with what's going to be on next week.
Well, we're just going to go on. Hey, by the way, from my angle, Vinny and Johnny, just so it's funny to watch Tommy when he's stressing out. I can tell something's going on with producer John. It's hilarious to see Tommy get all fidgety and all nervous. His eyes are, he wasn't paying attention to shit we were saying.
No, it's like ants, Dan. It's ants scrambling.
Yeah, he's like, Tommy was like, he wasn't listening to anything. He was just watching producer John. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. You're hilarious, dude. No, it's
Hey,
going to be
Dan, can I ask your opinion
Hold
of
on a
something?
second. Hold on one second. There's a guy on our feed that just put in, and this was a show that we had last week. He says, this is Jay Flores, which was, we did a show on the Flores twins, myself and Jack Riley and Joe Cronin.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said that was a great show last week. So that's pretty neat, huh?
That's pretty neat.
Thank you, Jay, for that compliment. I take that as a tremendous compliment coming from somebody
One
that
of
we
the
just did a
twins.
show on, and he said it was a great show, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
So that is pretty cool. And Jay, if there's if you want to come on, you'd be more than welcome. Hit us up on our email at thebrightersideofblue@gmail.com, and we'd love to have you on and talk to you in depth about some of the stuff that we talked about. But we were pretty general about the story. We got the whole story in an hour, and but there was a lot of stuff in there that I'm sure we didn't get to that would be very interesting for our listeners. But that's pretty cool. Thanks, Jay.
That's really cool.
But
So,
now I want to go back to, now that we got everything settled down, now I want to go back to what we're doing next week. And we're having Nathan Speece on. And a lot of people know what Nathan's been through. For those listeners that don't, Nathan was hit by a car chasing a carjacker, and he was outside of his car and he got hit on the highway. And that resulted in the amputation of his leg below the knee. And Nathan, in his days after his recovery, he said he's going to come back to the police department one day. And that rehab has started recently, and we're going to hear about the rehab, hear about, I'll ask him some other questions, and we'd love for anybody to tune in and ask questions on our show, through the live feed. And then come on down to Columbo's. The Columbo's is going to have this on upstairs via the feed, so they'll be up there. So if the room gets crowded down here, you can just go upstairs and enjoy and have a night with Nathan, and we all look forward to that.
That's going to be some honoring one of our heroes. This whole show is nothing but telling the great things that our heroes in blue do every day across the world. And the media never covers it. They don't have enough time to cover it, don't care to cover it, so we cover it. And we tell it like it is, and we don't hold anything back, and Nathan's a hero, and I can't wait to be at that show.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. We're all looking forward to that one. And I know JJ was really looking forward to it until he wanted to talk about it tonight, but he completely screwed all that up.
Yeah, JJ, I mean, he was so distracted. Between
That's
him
how
and
JJ
you,
rolls.
Yeah, between him and you, looking at producer John.
We got everything right. Looks like we got everything right. We got
No, it
we got
sounds
Dave
great.
Mueller checked in. John, Dave Mueller has said
saw
hi
that.
to you.
How you doing, Dave? Haven't seen you in a long time. I remember drinking beer with you and Jack Hederman. A lot of beer with you and Jack Hederman.
That's lovely. That is lovely. But Danny, as we do every week, we like to enlighten our listeners with what might have happened on this day back in the day. And this is brought to you by Fairway Automotives. Fairway Automotives has 4 locations within the St. Louis area. You just look them up and go to them. And like we always like to do, support those that support us. And if you need some car work on your car, look up Fairway Automotives and hit one of their 4 locations here in the St. Louis area. And what do you got to enlighten our listeners, Daniel?
It's kind of interesting. I got 2 things. One kind of light. But I think me, you, and Vinny all graduated from high school in 1984. Is that correct?
I'm 85.
Okay.
Correct, 84.
Okay. So on this day in 1984, the national drinking age in the United States of America went from 18 to 21. I think they knew we were coming.
But it didn't. I
That
guarantee
didn't, that didn't stop any of us. But
Right.
What are you talking about, Vinny? I obey. I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, you need to keep your record clean because you wanted to be a policeman.
Yeah.
That's
And
what it was.
And I don't know if I ever told this story on the podcast. So I started off in the 8th district. But Vinny, do you guys all remember hanging out at Francis Park, bringing our coolers of beer? There'd be 300 high school kids hanging out at Francis Park with our coolers. And it seemed to be the same 3 or 4 policemen, Jack Fleming, John Villa, Frank Cioric, and I know I'm missing one more. They'd wait till we're all there, and they'd come cornering us in, and we'd all scatter, and they'd take our coolers and our beer and go. You remember that, Vinny?
oh yeah, there was the same guy that would crash the White Castle lot too. Do
Exactly
the same
right.
thing. It was
Yep.
There was a guy, Jesse. I forget his name. It's a sergeant.
Jesse Green.
Jesse.
Jesse Green. Jesse Green. So listen to this. So I get transferred from the 8th district to the 2nd district. And at my first roll call, I'm standing there. I look to my left, it's Big Jack Fleming. To my right, it's John Villa and Frank Cioric. And I'm going. And so after roll call, I go, guys, you owe me a lot of beer and a lot of coolers. They're like, oh my God, we used to wait there with binoculars until you guys all got there. We knew we were taking your stuff. I go, yeah. That was their
It was good
plan.
reconnaissance.
it was
very
probably
good.
the same 100 or 200 high schoolers there every time too.
Oh,
Josh
yeah.
Fuller just chimed in and said it was Mike Calcaterra.
And Mike Calcaterra.
Look
Oh,
at
yeah.
Josh. He's pulling it
That's
out.
huge. Yeah, John Villa, Fleming, Cioric, Calcaterra, Jesse Green. They got a lot.
And they were the ones that pushed the 18-year-old bill through so they could come steal all your shit.
Funded a whole lot of their backyard barbecue.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna one more thing because this is hilarious, and I can see this happening to JJ.
Okay, cool.
On this day in 1938, an aviator by the name of Douglas
you don't say
Wrongway Corrigan.
Oh, I love that name.
Douglas Wrongway Corrigan took off from New York Airport, heading to California, but ended up landing in Ireland
That's yep.
because
Hence the name.
Sounds
he
normal.
blamed a faulty compass.
I could see that. I mean, once you get in the air, I don't know how you determine where you're going unless you got a compass of some sort.
I mean, I hope it's not one of those little magnetic
say a
compasses
compass?
he was up there.
He just had one of those compasses in his hand. It wasn't like on the dash there. It was
Yeah,
just in his
exactly.
hand.
Yeah.
I like
Anyway, wrong way Corrigan.
Wrong way, Corrigan. I like it.
Yeah. So
I
hey,
like it.
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and help grow this grassroots podcast, supporting all law enforcement across America. And signing out from Naples. Peace.
All right, out, Danny. See you.
Danny.
See ya.
All right, now we move on.
Dan said goodbye. He didn't just leave us.
That's unusual. That's unusual. Put yourself on the screen, John. Make sure we got that thing down. There we go. There goes producer John right there.
I'm actually here.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. And these guys were talking some 9th district stories. Is there any stories and not one of them that we could tell on the air? Are there any that we can tell on the air? I like John. John had one about Mike Rose. He got a call for an auto accident at the hospital.
Yeah, anybody that knows Mike Rose, one of the funniest, nicest guys. He was on my squad when I first started, but he told a story. I wish I would have been there. Is he got a call for a school bus accident, which we all know is a pain in the butt because you have to contact every parent and get every kid's name. And so he walked into Children's, but he didn't know there was a disaster drill going on. So there was like 100 kids that they put fake blood and missing limbs and, whatever all over the place. And Mike walked in and almost had a heart attack because he thought he was going to have to write this.
He thought they were all from the bus,
Yeah,
and they were
from the
actually
bus.
there just to do
Yeah.
with one of those training things.
Yeah, it was it was like a simulation, and I think he almost had to go in the emergency room because he thought he was going to write this thing, but it was. But funny things always happen to Mike Rose. Hopefully you're listening, Mike. But it was always fun riding with Mike. He was a good guy.
He's a funny guy.
You guys got any other good thoughts about the 9th district?
Kind of a morbid, but it was funny now. So John and I came out in the same academy class, and I think we came out August 1st. Mm-hmm. I think it was August 1st. So it got to be October. And I remember Pete St. James was my training officer. We're driving around. This little white prostitute used to walk up and down Lindell, okay? And she's a real skinny gal. So all of a sudden, didn't see her for weeks. We get a call. Remember the hotel? I can't remember the name of the place. It was on Lindell, like right at Sarah. Not Sarah, it was whatever that little cut through
Whittier.
street is. Whittier and
I know what you're
in Lindell. Is an old indigent motel. So we get a call for, dead body. It's her. So I'm like, oh, well, that's weird. It hadn't been out that long. It's like now life comes full circle again. So there's no place to take this guy. You can't take her down the steps. She's like on the 14th floor, so we had to put her in this old elevator that's only got room for, I don't know, basically me. So we had to put her they put her on a gurney, and they stood her straight up.
Oh, my God.
This is the first, so Pete's on one side, she's in the middle, and I'm on the other side. Well, Pete's been a policeman for 10 years. He couldn't care less. I'm keep looking over at her. Head's like this. And all of a sudden, her mouth came open, and she went, and you can imagine. And I'm like, I got to get off this elevator, fast. Well, he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever seen in his life. He goes, didn't you know that bodies just release gas? I said, really? That's that what happens. That's
They don't
that.
tell you that in academy because
No.
Right.
I'm like, no, it's October. It's getting near getting near Halloween, and then this happens. This, whatever. So
All right, we're back. Hold on 1 second now. Here we go.
Didn't have this problem on the fireman show.
No.
Brighter side of red.
Hey, just start talking, would you? Just keep talking while we're here, while we're going.
It's true.
I'll get this going.
See, I don't watch this podcast, but I watch theirs.
Talking to the mic, Huff,
I will.
for the 50th time.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I don't really watch podcasts, but I do turn into the one Vinny just mentioned.
Which one's that?
Brighter Side of Red, the fireman.
The brighter side of red. Oh!
All right, let me download some videos here real quick.
Hoses and ladders and other stuff
Yep.
that matters.
Is this TRL on MTV?
Chuck Young, does he listen to this?
Does Chuck listen to this? I think he's down in Florida, but
Yeah, he
you know,
He's what?
if he's listening,
watch podcast, turd.
yeah. You know what? Listen to a podcast reminds me of floating turd in a bucket of cream.
Do you remember the story of him when the dispatcher made relief on Christmas Eve?
Oh yeah,
Take that off.
yeah.
So the dispatcher got on the air, and she's like, whatever her name was, making relief, Merry Christmas, everyone. And it was with the old radios. He goes, Merry Christmas and fuck you too, dispatcher.
All right. Fuck you too, dispatcher.
We're back. We're back. Thank God. We were the recorder into the computer was dislodged and the computer died. So this needs to get fixed up before next week. We're not going to have this next week. We're not going to have any of this nonsense
I won't be
next
here
week.
next week, so I don't.
Dave said
really
it's
care what
the Ricky Ray said it's the Vinny curse because people think that you are Vinny. Is there any truth to that? Vinny was on our show earlier. Do you know who Vinny is, John?
I don't, but I'm anxious to hear about
Do you remember who Robert Yee was?
Oh, sure. I remember Robert Yee.
Who's Robert Yee?
Chinese place.
Yeah,
he was on Martin Luther King or
Lucky's.
Lucky's Lounge.
Lucky's.
Yeah.
So Vinny is apparently he's related to Robert Yee,
No
and
shit.
so then people were thinking that it was
I've been
was
looking
Vince.
over the notes, and I have no
People-
idea who this Vin Yee character is.
but they're claiming it was you. So but
I'm
apparently
related to Robert Yee. I don't know if you knew that.
You?
No. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, yeah,
There we go.
What you talking about?
All right, that's enough. That's enough. And then there's the speculation that Vin Yee might have been harmed by Diddy's people.
What?
Because Vin Yee did some reporting, and we've got the recordings that he did, and this may have resulted in his disappearance. Johnny, can you throw that up?
Was this out in L.A.?
All the way to the right there.
And I got people work for me, and I get Diddy news. You know,
This
he
is when
locked
Vin
up
Yee
in
called
jail,
into the show.
right?
Sure.
So apparently,
Sounds like he's
he
being harmed.
and he took deals out
Yeah,
with
basement.
other people to try to make money as he get out. And word on the street is he
Sounds legit.
may be
That's
doing
Robert Yee's?
television series,
Vin Yee.
movies,
Vin Yee.
music, and maybe even some kind of sports stuff. But first things first, right?
Right.
What I hear is that he
Was he
is
harmed?
working with a producer, a low-budget producer. And a lot of these movies are going to be like remakes. The first one is, you remember the show I Dream of Jeannie?
Sure.
This is going to be a remake with the Bieber. It's called I Dream of Weenie. And it's...
For real?
Yes, yeah, it real. It's he get rescued. Jeannie get rescued from Bottle by U.S. astronaut played by Diddy. And Scantily clad Bieber played character Weenie, and he become his slave. Eventually fall for him. In most episodes, Diddy rubs the genie lamp 3 times and squirt lube all over party goer at astronaut Diddy house.
Well, I think that's got a chance to make it.
That's that one. The other one we hear about is a show called Magnum KY. Diddy is going to play a private investigator. He live in guest house of millionaire rapper Shorty Shitstain. He live in Hawaii.
Okay, yeah, that that's a pretty good premise. It worked once before for Tom Selleck.
Yeah, he Diddy solve crime, end each episode with hot shower and baby oil.
That's got a great chance of making it too. And so
if those are two smaller projects, then he looking at also a big movie project, a show called Diddy Diddy Bang Bang. It's an epic fantasy show had Diddy playing a unsuccessful inventor who becomes enthralled with old-time car. And after he raised money to fix up car, Diddy pour his personal collection of lube into the engine and find out the car can fly. After he discovered that, Diddy spent late nights flying over a village, spraying partygoers with lube and baby oil at kickoff parties.
my God, that's a brilliant premise. There. It's a big take on Dick Van Dyke, another famous porn star.
Who?
Dick Van Dyke.
I never hear him.
Well, he was in the original version, Vince. It's called Chitty Chitty
Well-
Bang Bang.
That other movie, I remember this movie. I see the real movie of this one, but this one, Matthew McConaughey played and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but Diddy gonna change the title. It's gonna be called How to Lube a Guy in 10 Days.
How to Lube a Guy in 10 Days. What's the premise on that one?
This be a romantic comedy again, pairing Bieber as the writer for a local magazine. Diddy play advertising executive. Premise of the movie is they both make bets with friends and how they will lube each other up at parties, but it has to happen within 10 days.
Oh, that sounds that should be easy for Diddy.
Exactly. And honest to God, if these don't work out, the other one is music. I can't say that word very good. Music, which,
Music.
that's what he do. But he gonna start a rock and roll super group called the Red Hot Diddy Peppers.
Oh, perfect. Who's in that band?
I don't know some names. I see picture. I see Jay-Z, Usher, Diddy, Beeb. I don't know who the other guy is though. But it looked like a big super group. And they apparently going to remake a couple of songs with new titles. One will be called not Californication, but Lubrication. And the other one will be Hump. Yes, yeah, and then Hump the Bump. So that looked like that'd be a successful project.
That's it. Now, there's speculation. It's only speculation that you are Vin Yee. Is there any truth to that rumor, or how do you want to address that?
Well, what I heard on those recordings was appeared to be a very talented young Asian man. I am not talented, and I'm not Asian, so I would say I can honestly say that is not me.
But are you in fear that Diddy may have done something to Vin Yee?
Well, based on the choppy recordings and the fact that we haven't heard from him from some time, and knowing how the rap world operates, I would not be surprised at all if at some time in the near future we hear again from Vin Yee.
You think they're going to reach out for a ransom or something?
I think now that case is over, you're
He
going
might get released now that the case is over. I think they
True.
wanted to tame Vin Yee down
I think
because
he was inside some of the most powerful circles in the New York rap scene. I think he was privy to a lot of information, and based on some of the things I've heard, that maybe some people decided to take care of business and keep him quiet till the trial was over.
now that the trial's over, you think we might hear from him again?
Well, again, I don't know this guy.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
But I would
There's
probably
people that
say
think you might be related to him, at least a little bit.
We cut off his per diem after like 4 days, so
Well, I remember listening to the shows. He was very upset with the pay. I think he was
Yeah.
told one thing, and
He was putting everything on room service. He was apparently like giving everybody in the hotel free drinks and shit. We had to cut him off.
top shelf liquor, big time meals, and yeah, I mean, I don't think you guys can support something like that long term.
Sounds like you got big time information.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoever that was
gotta
though.
pay
You,
for stuff
you
like
can't
that.
just
That's-
call
yeah,
it.
that's a good point, F. That's a good point. I mean,
And
good
those
information
glasses that he
isn't
had
cheap.
on earlier. No, that I mean, you wear similar glasses. It's not like that just because Vigny uses those or Vince uses those as it is
Well, that doesn't mean
Vigny.
anything.
Right. Those are common glasses.
I mean,
right?
if you looked at that as a piece of evidence, that's not even evidence.
Right. That's just a coincidence.
When I knew
What's-
I needed cheaters, I went to the guy. Never seen an eye doctor before. I said, I want the hot thing out there. I want what all the kids
Those
are
are
wearing.
called beignets.
By Ray-Ban.
Yeah, by Ray-Ban. Beignets.
Beignets. Beignets by Ray-Ban.
They say, all the kids are wearing these, apparently.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So then the other thing that, before we get to the cop draft, we haven't even mentioned that. We're going to get to the top movie cop draft. Maybe if the city of St. Louis could draft 5 dudes, we're going to see who's got the best team. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But before we do, I found a little story that I found. I don't know why I found it interesting, but I found it interesting and somewhat amusing. There was and the headline reads, Thai police arrest a woman who allegedly seduced and blackmailed Buddhist monks. You got to click on that, right?
You have to.
Who's not clicking on that? I mean, you see that as a headline,
even
you
know
just
you
drove
could
it through,
seduce
you're
them.
clicking the shit out of that.
Inquiring minds
I
want to
didn't know
know.
that you could do that.
What,
I didn't-
entice a monk?
Yeah, I didn't think you could seduce
Well,
them.
Well, that's the whole problem is because celibacy, right? You would think that, they wouldn't.
Well,
they
they're the
wouldn't.
most disciplined people in
Right.
the world.
Well, apparently.
I mean, maybe not
these,
now, but-
Not these particular ones. Because police in Thailand arrested a woman Tuesday, and that was recently, who allegedly enticed a string of Buddhist monks into sexual relationships and then pressured them into making large payments to cover up their intimacy.
What?
The possible violation of celibacy rule for monks has rocked Buddhist institutions and gripped public attention in Thailand in recent weeks. At least 9 abbots, I guess that's, what's an abbot? I guess it's
Monastery.
some
Like a priest?
part of a monk.
Yeah.
At least 9 abbots and senior monks involved in the scandal have been disrobed and cast out of the monkhood.
The monkhood.
The monkhood.
Good Lord.
Well, it sounds like disrobing got him in trouble in the first place.
I got monked.
They got
No, you got
re-disrobed.
they call the priest defrocked, right?
Yeah, priests are defrocked. I
And
guess
so
the same
these guys
thing
are
with an
demonked?
abbot. I mean,
Like,
an
I would
abbot's
get-
the leader of an abbey.
Derobed.
You got to think in Thailand, they're really going to make an example out of these guys.
The next thing is the Royal Thailand Police. When they're the Royal
Yeah.
Thailand Police, they're gonna come down with some shit. That's all. So the gal's name, Willawan Msawat.
Common spelling.
She's in her mid-30s. They didn't specify her age, but she was arrested at her home in Nanthabria province, north of the capital, Bangkok, on charges of extortion, money laundering, and receiving stolen goods. Police say they traced the money transferred to her by a senior monk from a bank account belonging to the temple in northern Thailand.
Oh,
so they were taking
that'll
the money.
get you every time.
That'll get them every time.
Did they say receiving stolen goods or receiving swollen goods?
Swollen goods.
You know the
You know,
Thailand
the Duke of
monk joke,
Swellington
right?
got locked up for something very similar.
Duke of Swellington. He was demonked for disrobing.
You know what the Thailand monk said about 27-year-olds? The best thing about 27-year-olds? There's 27-year-olds.
Oh my God, we got in trouble with that
Oh,
one. earlier.
that's not where we want to go, dude.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
It's funny though.
Yeah.
It's funny, but she was 37, and that's about the extent of it. I guess everybody else knows them. You got any interesting crime
What
stories?
is it about 30-something-year-old women?
Hey,
I came
Josh.
across-
Josh Fuller said they got instead of getting catfish, they got monkfish.
That's a good one, Josh. Oh shit!
Patty Grassmore also came. She's happy to see Vinny on the show.
No,
Let's
let's,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Doppelganger.
Exactly. Yeah, you can look like somebody.
Thank
Everybody
you.
says you look like somebody.
Right.
I used to get that with Jeff Fisher. Remember that back in the day?
Oh
when we were
yeah.
tailgating?
Oh yeah. We'd go to the football game, be on the tailgate lot. Hey, that's Jeff Fisher over there. I said, if you only knew.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is Jeff Fisher. But I think you were.
I came across a strange story today. It's another mid-30s lady. So apparently, this woman, last name Laudermilk, in Houston, she was a mortician's assistant. She had a younger woman shadowing her, showing her what she does for a living or whatever. And they brought in a body. And the guy apparently was a convicted sex offender. And the lady did some digging. How you do that in a mortuary, I don't know. But she found out that this guy probably got a lighter sentence than he deserved. And I mean, this story's nuts. She took a scalpel and she stabbed him in the genitalia twice,
That's
excised his genitalia, and then stuffed them in his mouth.
Ooh,
Now,
she was mad.
she's angry.
During life, he would have liked that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into that type of thing and you can survive it, I imagine it's kind of exciting, maybe, But
John's got all the dead body stories tonight.
yeah, I don't know what it is about me.
You did. You came up with a couple of
Death
them.
becomes me. Yes.
That's what it is. Maybe are you going to have some dark picks on the draft picks?
I'm gonna try.
You got some dark,
You know what? With my luck, I'm gonna get third out of this, and so I'll get
you only get the third pick.
I'll get the comedies.
Partying gift.
Right.
Yeah,
I got a sleeper pick at the end that I think is going to help. Like I said, when you're putting together a squad, you need a little different.
Well,
You need different personalities.
Flav.
You need to, you just can't have all type A guys.
No, you got to have Flavor Flav in there.
Yeah, you got to have
Did he ever play in one of those movies? Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. No.
Solve crimes with a big clock around his neck. One thing he could document time.
The Dr.
I'll tell you
Clock.
that. Hey Flav,
What do you got for us, Vinny? You got anything?
I don't know if it's.
How's work going?
How's work going?
You're at the end. You got to be at the end, dude.
Yeah. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
But if the economy keeps doing good, I hear all you old heads that are been hanging on. When the economy goes down, they're like, I'm definitely out next year. I'm definitely out. I'm gonna get out before it gets bad.
Well, we'll
Then
see
the economy picks
October
up.
2nd, right? When that new number gets dropped.
The economy. Then when they pick out I'm gonna stick around another year. I'm all right.
Dude, that number's been solid over 44 for
It's a
few
you
weeks
guys
now.
are making some money in that drop now.
yeah.
Ain't no doubt
Oh.
about that. But that's like I said, we try to entice young coppers or younger listeners, and we're getting some of those. That the profession's not all that bad of a profession. It's,
No,
it's
it's
a
a
neat
great- it's actually a
profession.
great
It's
profession.
fun.
Hey,
Would
you know what? When you come on the police department, depends on what year you come on. You don't know what it was before that, or you hear.
Like I said,
we all did.
We
come out
heard
of the
that
police
it was
academy, we hear
horrible.
things.
Right. And no, when we came out, they were all the older guys, the veterans were like, oh, this place ain't what it used to be.
sucks.
This place is ready to go. And they'd be checking their retirement funding and see when they could leave. And then you're like, yeah, I'll do this. And then by the time when you get, them 20 years on, the next thing you know, you're checking that funding every time too. So you get, it just kind of evolves. And, I'm sure that old heads like us don't like with the cameras and everything, but those younger kids are used to it. They're on camera everywhere they go now.
Right.
They're at the bar. They know they're on cameras, and I think that they're much easier adaptable to what's going on than we are. When we're old. And
They just threw a crazy number out I heard on a program that like the average person is probably on camera if you just go about your day probably a couple hundred times a day throughout a 24-hour period.
Unless you're on our show, because then the camera feed goes down.
Yeah, right. If you're going to commit a crime, do it here, because it's guaranteed to go down. There'll be a black moment there. You can go do what you need to do.
It's just like that 1 minute of film on the Epstein cell, right?
That's exactly right.
This kind of goes into producer John's musings at the microphone.
And who's that sponsored by, John?
Schicker Automotive Group, of course. We have a summer sales event going on right now on almost all new Ford models. 0% APR, 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days. And plus, don't forget, the first responders get a discount of an additional $500.
Yes.
Off a vehicle purchase and $15 off a service visit. It's pretty strong.
That's wrong.
So get your asses down to Schicker.
Yep. If you don't want to bicker about the price on the sticker, head on down to Schicker where you get the best deal quicker.
Wow.
Damn straight.
Sales.
I just made that up off the top of my head. We've never said it before on any show.
They do commercial.
Yeah, he's a jingle writer.
This guy's not going to do a podcast. He's going to be over the air talent real soon.
Oh yeah. But I went. Sunday was that fundraiser at the Bocce Club for Paul Drago and Kim Drago's son Vinny, who passed away a few years ago, and they have a scholarship fund, and they raised a lot of money. But they had the recruits working there. They're probably graduated by now, but they were just getting ready to graduate. But they started with 29 recruits, and they graduated 10. We need to do a lot better than that.
29 started and only.
You got to be kidding.
They have
No,
10
I mean, you
people.
look at the graduation picture, it's almost,
How-
it's ridiculous.
So I just have, because I'm not that connected to all this stuff. It's just a legitimate question. Do you have any idea what happened? Like, how does this happen?
I think a lot
How
of.
do you get in and
I
can't finish
and I
6
asked
months?
I asked some of the kids, what happened. And he said a lot of them just they weren't cut out for it. They didn't like the. They
You don't
didn't
know
like-
anything then.
They decided to do the vetting after they got into
Yeah,
the
well, that's actually, Vinny, you bring up a good point. I remember subsequent to our class, you hear stories of guys being snatched out of their,
Yeah.
seats and taken away because somebody decided to actually maybe do a better background to say this guy shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Oh yeah, they had. You hear about the stories about gang members and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
that from other states, whatever. But I don't think that was the case here, from what I was told by these recruits. And I give the 10 who stuck with it a ton.
Yeah,
of
good luck to
credit.
them, and
Yep.
God bless them.
Flip side.
They graduate
we're-
this week,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're always,
That's
we're trying. We're pro, recruitment. Hey, it's a great job. Things are getting better. Things are trending in
Right.
the right direction for St. Louis.
Nationwide.
If that's something that you're interested in, go in and stick it out. It's worth it. There's a lot of physical, there's a lot of running and physical stuff. There's a lot of things that maybe aren't that much fun at the time. And it's a 6-month academy. When we went through, it was 4 months.
Right.
But you know what? That physical stuff's not even a negative, really.
No,
I mean,
'cause-
think about it. You get paid to go work out for 6 months, a couple
Yeah.
of days a week or 3 days a week. You get to go run, lift weights, do whatever. I mean,
Yeah. So stick with it. It's a great job. It's very rewarding, and all the stories that we tell collectively, we would never, if all of us went into different professions, we wouldn't have a podcast because presumably there wouldn't be that many good things to talk.
And I'll say this about other jobs. I mean, just name the job, maybe other than in the bar business, because they tend to stay close to people over the years. But, take any other job, and 30 years later, we've all moved on in life. We've all done different things, but we're all still friends. And we're friends because, we can see each other after 6 months of not seeing each other. And it's like we never missed a beat, or
Right.
6 years.
6 years
Because of the stuff we went through. And we'll still a lot of people stay in contact with their people that they've worked with over the years. I mean, I can't tell you how many people are in my phone and how many text threads we got. I mean, you guys are on several of them, and how much fun you have because of that bond that you have. That JJ often talks about it's part of like being on a team, an
yeah.
athletic
It is.
team.
It is.
100%.
So,
I also look at, I think this too. I mean, if you're really honest about your career, you leave it to other people to decide whether you're a good policeman or a bad policeman or whatever that means. You're not the best. I mean, you can have your own opinion about yourself, but it's really better left to other people. But I think when you get opportunity, you can have opportunities at that place. You can have opportunities to move, and really it's what you decide you want to make of it, right?
right.
I mean, I did 20 years and a little bit of change, but for me, I wanted to go do something different. It's not because I was mad at the police department. I had no reason to be. I had great jobs.
Right.
I got treated great. I enjoyed my career. I never look back on those 20 years and think I wasted my time at all. I'm grateful.
Right. Well, and right now you do private investigations, but if not for those 20 years, you wouldn't. I'll be that all that good of a private investigator.
No, I mean, you can debate whether I'm that good at that, but
Well,
yes, it
you
does.
got
It gives you some useful skills. I would say that.
I do know of a story, and we won't get into it, where you got a guy off of a life sentence. I mean, you had to do something, right?
So,
That's pretty
you
cool.
know,
But And then me and Vince went to the academy together 38 years ago, and I don't know if this is for and people may like it, people may not, but Vince and I and many of the people in that academy had a juvenile sense of humor, which many men do.
Yeah, we're 21.
Well, you
We're
said-
still
We're 21.
You said had as if that's
Yeah,
past tense.
It's still going.
Well,
Have.
and then,
Use
like
the word
Vince
have.
said, we sat in alphabetical order. So Vince sat next, so Stalin, and then Vince sat next to a good guy named Jesse Steen.
Oh, no.
and so Vince used to just, for humor, he used to just like to rip farts. I mean, just rip it. And Jesse Steen could not stand that. And Jesse was a put together dude. I mean, Jesse would have tore Vince all the way up. And he started getting that mad. Where he find that, and God love Jesse, he didn't just go whoop Vince's ass the last time he cut a fart. But he went to the supervisor of the class and says, "You got to move that dude, and if you don't move him, I am going to whoop his ass next time he rips a fart." And
Do you remember the funniest part about that was who was the lieutenant or the sergeant that
Chapman,
no,
Simpher,
no, the black guy.
Roddy Williams.
That was it. Thank you. And he came in and he said, guys, we're 6-7 weeks in, and everybody's starting to get to know everybody. So I think we're gonna move some of the seating around so everybody can kind of start meeting other people. And everybody's just kind of sitting there. He goes, so let's start. He goes, Vince, why don't you come up here and trade spots with Harry? So I
Then
pick
we're
up
done.
all my stuff, and Harry picks his stuff. We swap seats, and then he goes right into the curriculum.
That's the only change.
I was like,
The only change.
yeah. I was like, oh boy.
He wanted you to spread your essence someplace else inside that classroom.
Your essence.
Jesse Steen had enough.
Jesse
apparently.
was mad as a mug, dude.
Tired of the stink.
He was mad as all get out. It was a good move by the class supervisor there, Rodney Williams, to move you, because I do think that eventually you would not have ended well for you if you would have kept doing it. But you kept doing it. Then you moved next
Jesse
to
was
Harry
a
and you kept
gentleman.
ripping.
He was a gentleman.
He was. And God love he did it the right way. And then the other thing I was going to say about our class is Bubba Worm was in there, and Rick Severino,
We had some characters.
and Dave Wingvermeulen, and these guys sat right behind me.
Dave and I went to high school together.
So they sat right behind me. Severino next to me, the other two behind me. And these dudes didn't shut up the entire fucking day. I mean, they never shut up.
Just remember how aggravated you get.
Yeah, because they wouldn't. I mean, I can understand, quip here and there, maybe a little thing there and there. They messed with each other the entire time.
I'm here to learn.
I wasn't there to learn. I was there to relax. If you guys have ever really shut,
Yeah, it wasn't learning. Hey, I'm trying to get a nap in here, fellas.
Just
Trying to get a
relax,
nap in here.
I could nap with my eyes open.
sure.
There's no problem. I could, a little meditation. But you couldn't get it done with you guys. And then you would egg them on from wherever you were sitting. You would get them rolling, and then Detzel would get involved. And it would be nothing but complete chaos during a class. If the one poor sergeant, he was deaf.
Oh, yeah.
It was-
Chapman.
his name was-
Yeah, he couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that.
So anytime he would turn his back, these guys would go nuts. They would just start talking aloud, just amongst each other. They would talk to each other as loud as they could. And
Do you remember the best one?
They weren't disturbing anybody.
The best thing.
Not
He-
Sergeant Chapman.
No, for sure.
He-
He was focusing on the lesson plan. He wasn't disturbed at all.
we figured out that this guy can't hear anything.
Nothing.
And he would just kind of, yeah, point, and you'd say something, yep. So I just raised my hand. He goes, yep, you. I go, Sarge, my nuts are on fire. And he goes, okay, all right, yep, you. I mean, the whole class.
That was our academy
The whole
class.
class just erupted. I mean, it was like, this guy can't hear a damn thing. And he's up
I
here
thought he
just
read
teaching.
lips. I thought I didn't know. He was. It was pretty rough, and then
He was
Good guy, though. Good
He was a
dude.
great guy.
Yeah.
He-
absolutely
He was a
great
good guy.
And then he would teach after lunch.
Oh,
And he taught law 2. And you cannot make law 2 interesting.
on a full stomach.
No.
And then you just got out of the lunchroom or wherever you went for lunch, and then you'd have to sit through that. holy Lord. That brought me back to high school. At CBC, we had a guy by the name of Patton was his last name, and he was a VMI guy, Virginia Military Institute guy. His name was Patton. He talked out of the side of his mouth, and he was just a mean dude. Well, he taught history after lunch,
Oh God.
and I kind of nodded off, and he turned that VMI class ring around, and he smacked me in the back of the head.
Yeah, that was the end of the day.
You don't want to cry, but the tears start coming because it hurts so bad, and the tears start coming down your eyes. You're sitting there, and somebody's like, "You need to tell your parents." I go, "Man, I tell my dad. I'll catch much worse than a class ring upside the head. I won't be back here."
Yeah, your dad wouldn't turn the ring around either.
Hey, not to tell high school stories, but you talk about weird things that happen in high school. You remember Jack Smith,
Oh, the wrestling coach.
the wrestling coach?
At St. Mary's?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So Jack Smith, he always had like egg yolk and coffee. He always had shit down the front of his shirt, and he stunk.
The armpits were completely pitted
frankly,
out
he
in yellow,
stunk. And you'd have him for homeroom.
and he smelled like soup.
And so he'd sit in homeroom. Most homeroom teachers, they don't care what you're doing. They're kind of do with their lesson plans, and they're doing what they're doing. He'd say to somebody, he'd say, "Hey Smith, bring Thompson up here." And Thompson's like, "What the fuck am I going up there for?" It's like, "Bring him up here." "I don't want to bring him up there." "Well, then I'm going to get you on a side body suplex, or it's going to be him, or it's going to be." Am I lying?
No.
He said, "It's
No.
going to be him or it's going to be you." So he'd go, "Hey, Thompson, you got to go, man." And then a fist fight would start.
You're going to get cradled up if you don't go up there.
Oh, he was unbelievable.
cradled up.
Put you in that headlock under his armpit. It was hideous.
A teacher put you in a headlock?
Oh, yeah.
He would,
Yeah.
in a reverse headlock.
Seriously.
I mean, it wasn't even the friendly, like, kind of giving you like a little head scrub.
Oh, no.
It was a reverse headlock.
No, choking
where
your
you got
carotid artery
nothing
out.
but armpit hair and juice.
And juice.
I mean,
it stunk.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
he was miserable.
God's sakes.
Yeah.
hit in the
And
back of the head with a
he
ring
lasted
again.
like 3 years. And then finally they just told him, I think they must have told him, "Jack, this is St. Mary's, so a lot of things can go on here, but you probably need to move on."
Oh,
someplace."
that's too.
He was
crossed
there for a while,
Oh, yeah.
wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That
Hey.
makes me want to get a hit in the head back with a ring again.
Yeah.
After hearing that
Mark
story.
Cabaz, I went to high school. A guy, Mark Cabaz, he's like, and they were they grew up like Jack lived in the neighborhood with these guys. I think it was either like not St. Pius, but one of those other schools over there near Tower Grove. He go, "Cabaz, bring it's like this became a thing. Bring so and so up." It's like, "Come on, dude, you got to go up to the front of the class." Everybody knew it was coming, so the guy like, "No, I'm not going to do that." "Cabaz, I thought
I'm
I
not getting
told
in
you
no,
to bring
I'm
him."
not getting in no reverse headlock.
And you remember too, like schools nowadays are so unbelievable with the facilities. Like they have a special wrestling area. It was just like on the first floor, and like a stack of 4 blue mats were just in the art room, and he's like throwing you off a locker,
yeah.
and, like jumping
wanted-
off a desk with.
Hey, Tommy, his main goal is he wanted to start a wrestling program at St. Mary's. Damn right. That's all he cared about. So, because they didn't have the funding for it, or didn't have there was no juice. So he
Taught
just
by
was gonna,
Hulk Hogan.
He was going to have it
was
one way or the
alley
other. So it
wrestling.
was either going to be official or he was going to live it inside of school. So he just started to live it in school.
That's great.
Oh, he was
Suplexes.
crazy.
He
as hell.
kind of looked.
Pile drivers.
Oh,
He looked a little bit. I mean, obviously, the coach was bigger, but he looked like Belker from Hill Street Blues.
Do you
That
remember-
dirty,
Oh yeah,
sweaty all the
Never
time.
shaved. He had like kind of Tommy's beard, but worse. He just
Always looked like he was sweating.
You remember Finnegan's down on North Broadway?
Yeah, this shitty beard like Tommy's.
like
but
Tommy's.
worse.
Finnegan's on North Broadway. He used to wrestle down there, and he brought pictures in one day. And I'm like,
I think he wore a
Jesus
mask, didn't
Christ.
he?
Yeah, he had a mask on. He had like the singlet, but not like a high school singlet. It looked like something he sewed at his own house. And he had a mask.
What did he teach? And he didn't wear a singlet while he taught. Did
He
he?
had
He might as well have.
his wrestling leotard had a single letter on it, sort of like Laverne and Shirley had the L. His just had a J. It just had a J on it.
What was this guy's name again?
Jack Smith.
I mean, listen, Jack Smith.
If you ever get around guys like our age, St. Mary's guys, and you ask me, I'm like, hey, you remember Jack Smith? Oh, yeah, how could you forget Jack Smith? I mean, Jack.
Wasn't he the special prosecutor that went after Trump?
He was in an earlier life. In a later life, maybe.
And
No,
that-
Jack Smith, I don't know if he could push a pissant around a Cheerio. I have no idea, man.
Those
This guy was-
pictures with that mask on too, and they
Yeah.
would always announce him as, from the Everglades of South Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Jack Smith.
Yeah,
Well,
one
he
more.
didn't even use. He had a
I got-
bogus
All right, let's
name.
move on from Jack. Let's get to some comments here that
Carl DeLay's.
Carl DeLay. Hi, Carl.
Carl D.
In the house.
He's a legend.
All the way from.
And then we had somebody
Florida.
wanting you to tell a story about Jim Long. Something about the Bevo Mill. Maybe somebody naked.
yeah.
Oh,
You
you're talking
might
about
have
during
been
the flood?
This from
Probably
Patty.
during the floods.
Yeah.
So what happened? You did an imitation of old
Oh, yeah,
Sergeant
I
Jim Long.
remember.
So I kind of had gotten Sergeant's long voice down pretty well. And during the floods in '93, we had everybody working details down along Riverty Pear, basically from Morgan Ford east to the river and that whole area back there. So, guys were positioned all over the place. Some of them just sitting on a lawn chair in the 7400 block of Pennsylvania or, wherever.
Yeah.
So I was just bored one day and I just keyed up the radio and on the detail channel and I'll kind of sound with how Sergeant Long did. And I just said, made up call letters and I was 7912. And the dispatcher didn't even have a 7912 on their screen, but she acknowledged it. And she's like, yeah, 7912. Can you get some meals down here on South Broadway for my men? They're starving down here. It's hot as hell. And she said, okay, Sarge, we'll make a phone call and get. I said, yeah, get that lunch wagon down here and feed these guys. Jesus Christ. And a couple sergeants were riding around. I found the story out later, and the one guy looked at the other sergeant. He knew it was me. But he said he looked at the other sergeant and goes, boy, Jim's on fire today.
I
that's
remember he used to
beautiful.
wait for you. He used to wait for you to come in by the back door of the station.
He came into one day because I went to the Leclerc garage where they had all the wrecked cars, and I found one with the door open, and I would just hit that same car once a week. And some of the dispatchers that you guys all remember back in the day, they all knew it was me, but they couldn't kind of trace it back to me. But he'd sit at the back of the station and he'd be like, and I go, hey, Sarge, how you doing? He's like, I know it's you cocksucker.
I remember when he used to go. I remember one time we were walking to the station together, and he went, "Look who it is!
If it isn't the old radio boy."
It's radio, funny games on the radio with Vince Stalin."
And of course you denied. He'd go, that's okay. I got the tapes. I got the tapes.
Damn, that was.
I think he might
He was
obviously
such a good dude.
He was a
He was
good
a
man.
good dude.
Man.
He was a good man.
Well, there's
Him
two
and,
Sergeant Longs too. It wasn't Schnoid. It was
No, it was,
old Sergeant.
Yeah.
Old
Longs.
Fifth
Two Jim
District.
Longs.
Old
Two
handlebar
Sergeant Jim Longs.
mustache.
Sergeant Jim Longs. Yeah.
Old Fifth
All the
District.
guys knew him from down at the arena with Jack Billings and that whole crew.
Absolutely, I was just about to mention Billings, and they were a pair down there at the arena, weren't they?
Can I just tell a real fast story?
Absolutely.
Dude, so I got on down there. That was like the one thing. I loved hockey. I begged Long. I'm like, can I please work secondary in there? He's, I'll see if I can fit you in, So, you started getting maybe 3 games a month, and then the longer you were there to increase. But you guys remember a gal by the name of Susie Matthau that was in charge of the Blues
sure.
public relations stuff? Well, back in those times, the Blues were on a hell of a run for a while. And, there'd be like 25, 30 policemen a night working, inside, outside. But like all of us do, you see another guy, you're going to go over and talk, and then another guy comes over, and the next thing there's 4 of you shooting the shit for 40 minutes, and you don't even realize it. And Billings came down to the police room in the old arena, which was underneath the main concourse across from the Blues locker room. And it had this big, like an attic fan over the door, and he shut it off, and everybody just kind of turned. And he goes, can I say everything? He goes, let me tell you something, you cocksuckers. And everybody's and he goes, and Jim, I know you're covering for them all. He goes, if I got to get another goddamn complaint from that bitch Susie Mathau about all you guys standing around here sucking each other's dicks, he goes, I'm not going to listen to it anymore. I'm going to fire every one of you. I don't give a shit. I'll get new cops. And he goes, I'm tired of this shit. And he walked out, and Long was just sitting at the desk he always had, and he's just tapping a pencil. And he goes, it was just like nobody said nothing. It was like 30 seconds. He goes, all right, guys, go to your assignments.
And Billings, that wasn't Jack's personality.
No,
He was such an awesome guy.
I mean, that
rolls
room
downhill.
went completely silent, but that was like I had worked with him when he retired and was a consultant with Hudson. I did contract stuff with him, and he always kind of treated me almost like a son. You know, he'd always call me, and when I'd go by there and talk to him. But I used to tell him, I go, you probably don't remember because you probably had so many of these, but I go, that was the funniest damn thing I had ever seen in my life when you had that meltdown.
Yeah, when you send Jack to that level, it had to be pretty bad.
Oh.
So we got another question from Make It Make Sense. And he asked, so what was the qualifications to be the Southside Mobile Reserve around 2006? That would be a best question for JJ.
Probably.
We have to defer that to
But
JJ.
there was no Southside Mobile. It was just mobile.
What years
And,
were you down there, John?
You were early.
90 to 93.
Oh,
Right. Yeah,
you about the same time?
Old Ed.
Well, John Heffley, John Winter, and John Frank were in the same academy class. We all went to the 9th District, and we all went to Mobile about the same time.
Wonder how that happened.
3 Johns.
Three-headed John.
Yeah. I remember I went down, you and Dickie Burgess were riding together
Yeah.
when I got down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd you ride with first when you went down to Mobile?
Oh, God. I had, I kind of got thrown. I was like, well, I got sent down there as the odd man, so I kind of just jumped in. And I didn't really know it. I
That's
know
no-
these guys.
That's
so
no
I-
fun.
Well, it was weird. I jumped in with, well, they were nice. So, you know, they took me in. So I ended up, because I knew both of them. So I rode with Dickie and John. And then I rode with Patty Lane. Remember Patty Lane?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
She was a good policeman. No?
So anyway,
Move along.
then I rode with Malachek.
Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck and I rode together, and then a spot came open, and Dan Cole and I ended up riding together, and that's was it.
That was a rivalry, though. It was Cole and Heffley against Burgess and Frank, and they had the gun board.
Yeah.
And we all every month. Well, I don't even know what you won, but if you had the most guns recovered,
He's got a beer at Rosie's.
yeah. And we also had the on the other side of the ledger, the dart board.
Oh yeah,
So if you messed up
You got a
in
fine.
Mobile, you threw a dart, and it was 10 times whatever what you hit. So if you hit like a 20, you had to pay $20 in. We called it the piggy bank, and all that money went to good cause. It was
Yeah.
for bar tabs.
Yeah,
at
bar tabs.
Maggie O'Brien's.
no, that's how they handle, like, you know, snap outs and shit like
Yeah.
that. We never got them. So
Oh, you never got him?
We had a-
well, nobody ever got them. So you like it, but you get like if it was enough that somebody was like, you know, it wouldn't be like being 2 minutes late for roll call. But if there's some other things like, they go, okay, well, you got to throw for your fine, so you have to go pick up your dart.
Yeah, throw 'em, yeah. I only had to throw once just because I called Temple. That's what we called it when we went out
Yeah.
drinking after work.
Yep.
We called Temple, and everybody had to go and drink. And I called Temple, and I didn't show up because.
Oh, that's definitely a violation.
Yeah, it was
You
a-
can't call a fuck. You cannot call a boozing session and not show up.
I know. I paid.
What happened? It had to be a extreme
catastrophic.
emergency.
I don't know, but it was something.
You don't recall?
Something better came up, I guess.
You don't want to talk.
Oh, see,
It's okay.
that you don't recall, huh?
Well, I was single back then,
Yeah.
I hear you.
so
Nothing more needs to be said.
nothing more.
So
I'm not
Vinny
saying
had to
anymore.
excuse himself to go to the restroom.
Oh, well.
So when he gets back, we will start the cop draft.
And then Adam Reese wants to hear some Larry Plyman stories. I met Adam a couple weeks ago. Really nice young man, friend of Larry and Terry's. And Larry, by far, is one of the best policemen I ever met.
Really good
best
policeman.
detective.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of my best friends. And hey, Adam, Larry, he, especially like when we started housing, we had a bunch of young guys, but Larry was the guy who who came down and taught the young guys how to do the job, how to write reports the right way. And I have nothing but admiration and love for Larry.
Well, if you listen to the to Mike Fagan's story about the Jerry Lewis Bay, that trial and that case, Larry was very instrumental in that case, and he was instrumental on the back end of it, where he had to just get all these reports and find all these arrests of all these members of the Moore Science Temple. And he got all this stuff together, and it was basically what the whole case was revolved around was historical. And it was a historical case. A lot of guys did the crimes 8 years ago, but for some reason they didn't get convicted at that time.
Didn't even get prosecuted.
But now they put all of it together and said these guys are in a criminal organization, and that was a lot of that was done by Larry, and so yeah, he was a great. And then he was in the bureau with us, and him and John would have some legendary lot sessions after work. Larry was
every night.
You remember we were a young policeman in the 9th District? He was riding with Bob Sissel.
Oh yeah, they were a great team.
They were a great team, and their van was like the boogeyman van. You try to get off of work.
like a kidnapper van.
Yeah, they'd open it. Like, hey, you want go in there, and next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, it was tremendous.
All right,
time.
let's get to the. We're going to get to the draft, the
right, Tommy.
movie cop draft.
That cup on top of the badge. There's 3 numbers in there, and that's the draft order. I'll take whatever isn't picked.
What do you got, Huff?
What did I tell you?
You got
What
4?
did I tell you? Huh?
Which one did you
There's
get?
only 3, and I got 8.
Okay, you got 8.
I told you.
3. I got 1, baby.
You know what? This is a bait and switch bullshit thing.
Oh, dude.
When he calls you, did I tell you, Vinny? Did I tell you?
I know.
What did I say to you?
He was going to pull some shit.
I said he's going to be 1. I get the last one. I told you.
Well, I'm number 4, so you guys are good.
Oh, you took 4? You got the double on the back end, though.
Yeah.
All right, 5 people. Ready?
All right, well, explain to our listeners what we're doing.
We are doing a top movie cop draft, and so we left TV out. There's too many people, so we went with the movies, and we're all going to pick somebody that we think. We're going to try to pick a squad that you would use to clean up the city of St. Louis, and see who comes up with the best squad and says, yeah, that's the guy that's the team we want. So with the number 1 pick, the overall number 1 pick, I'm going RoboCop.
That's a nice call.
I'm going
Complete
RoboCop.
destruction right off the bat.
Right.
I'll tell
Hey,
you, tell you what, that the main antagonist in that thing is the better character than RoboCop himself. But that's fine.
All right.
Good pick.
So who's 2? Vinny, you're 2.
Number 2, I'm going to go with a single person who I think could do an unbelievable job based on how the movie went. I'm going to go with Donnie Brasco.
That's a nice.
That's a nice pick.
And if I
like
can
it.
say to everybody,
I like
if
it.
you can get Joe Rogan,
Oh,
they just had the real Donnie Brasco, the guy that played it on there. It's about 90 minutes. It's
I heard.
awesome.
Joe Pistone.
Francis had him on too. Michael Francis had him on recently. It was a
Okay.
great show.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going with Harry Callahan and Dirty Harry.
Oh, that was a tough one.
You
between
talking
him
about a
and-
guy just cleaned up the streets by himself? It's Harry.
No doubt.
Harry got it. Yeah. Then the moxie or the attitude that you need to clean this place up. Dirty Harry might have had it.
Oh, there's no equivocation with Dirty Harry.
Yeah, can't. Yeah.
It's like this. It's black, white. That's it. There's no
Right.
gray areas here.
And
Johnny?
the administration was okay with that.
Back in the day.
Johnny, what do you got, baby? You get 2 picks here.
Okay, I'm going. You need a steady hand, a veteran officer, to kind of anchor your whole crew. So I'm picking Jimmy Malone, who was Sean Connery's character in The Untouchables.
Okay.
Good guy. That was a great character.
And then my second pick, they say like an old time, I forget which football coach it was, but said, about football is the prayers work better if you have big linemen. I want a big lineman, so I'm picking Amos Hightower, Bubba Smith's character from Police Academy.
Police Academy.
I knew there was going to be some of those in here. I'm just going to put Hightower. All right, Vinny. No, John, you're up.
Well, I'm going to stay with my theme.
He's
I'm
number-
going with
he's number
Denzel
3.
Washington in Training Day.
Oh, he walked on the edge.
What was that? What was his character's name?
So did Harry Callahan.
Denzel Washington. What was that character's name?
His name was Alonzo Harris, Detective Alonzo Harris.
Yes. So you're going.
I'm
You-
going old school here.
You might
Older than
bring in
us.
that Sipowicz or something like on.
he's
I mean,
Sipowicz.
he might be on your.
Yeah, he could
but
be
he's a
in
TV guy.
Could be in here.
He's a
he-
TV
he's
guy, but
eligible.
that seems like you're
So that's where I'm going. You
Right.
can see it.
Alonzo, what's his name?
Alonzo Harris.
all right.
Good pick, Hef.
Thank you.
Vinny.
I'm going to go even older school with a guy who on the street was absolutely relentless, and that was Popeye Doyle. French Connection.
Call.
Good pick.
That's a hell
Good
of a
pick.
call.
Popeye
Doyle. Yeah.
Doyle.
Great movie.
That was just on the other night again.
All right.
Second one I didn't. Yeah, but the first one was
First
great.
one was great.
I'm going with Axel Foley. Beverly Hills
Wow.
Cop.
Got to have a little
You
humor.
know, hey, if he can clean it, he was a Detroit detective, so he'd fit right in here at St. Louis.
Yeah.
You know,
Then went to another city.
and then he
just
went to
jumped right
California.
in.
Yeah, he was dealing with Taggart and Rosewood.
Right.
You know, it shows that he can deal with people,
Yeah.
solving murder cases. You know, he hooked up at that Jenny. Remember Jenny? She owned the art place. Axel Foley was a dude.
From Forrest Gump, Jenny.
Not that Jenny.
Okay.
No, not that Jenny.
8, 6, 7, 8.
And then I'm going to go with John McClane from Die Hard.
Solid
Bruce
pick,
Willis.
Tommy.
That is.
What's that?
That's a solid.
Solid.
I'm forming a good team here. All right,
RoboCop
Vinny,
wrestling.
you're up, baby.
All right, this might come at a high price of carnage, but I like violence. And I'm going to go with Al Pacino's crew in Heat.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the whole crew. You can't have a whole crew. So you're just
Oh,
going
he was-
with,
he was-
you're
he-
just going with Vincent Hanna, who led the crew. So you're thinking
Al
he could do the
Pacino's
same.
character, right, the leader
Vincent
of the
Hanna.
group. Okay.
Vince
he was
picks
good.
Vince.
Vince and then Vince. I thought you'd pick Jackie Chan. To tell you the truth. No, never mind. Now, who's up? Johnny, you're up.
Yeah. There's no variation on my theme. I'm going Nick Nolte. 48 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
good one.
Jack.
Cates.
Jack Cates. He was good.
Now that sounded
I
like
have a lot of testosterone on my team. I don't think anybody's going to get along. There's going to be no cooperation for the team.
but we'll
Dirty
get the
Harry.
job.
There'll be a lot of. There'll be a lot
You
of.
just picked every lone wolf there
There'll
is.
be a lot of people laid to waste.
Jack
You'll be able
Cates.
to know where they've been.
Jack Cates. All right, Johnny, you're up for 2, baby.
Well, I need somebody to lead my crew, some kind of a supervisory guy. So I'm picking Lieutenant Frank Drebin from Naked Gun.
Did you see where they're remaking that?
They can't remake that.
They got Liam Neeson playing Frank Drebin. I mean,
it's not going to work.
no,
It's not gonna work.
I just saw
Just not
some of
gonna
the
work.
trailers. I'm like, this is
Just not going to work. Who else you got, Johnny?
All right. Now, above Frank Drebin, I need another layer of supervision. So I'm picking
Supervision going on.
Sheriff Julie Forrester.
Ooh, who's that?
That's Elizabeth Shue's character in Piranha 3D. And if you ever see the movie, you'll know why I picked her.
All right.
Piranha 3D. Watch it tonight.
is she in one of the
Never heard of
Sharknadoes?
her?
What
I think that's going to be detrimental
What the
to the
hell?
voting. People are going to see
You have a
Jory-
lot of
Jory-
time. Piranha 3D. Who's even heard of this?
Right.
You
Yeah.
haven't seen any of the Piranha
That's
movies?
a dud.
No.
I'm calling that a dud for
Wait,
right now until
you
I see
haven't
this
seen
movie.
the movie. Yeah.
I can't criticize something I haven't seen. That's for sure. But I can and I will.
All right. Johnny, you're up. Come on, baby.
Because I love the book and I love the movie, I'm going with Bud White, LA Confidential.
Yes. Bud. Good one.
One of the best characters ever.
Yeah.
Good one. All right, Vinny, you're up. He'd steal your pick?
He did.
He told you. He
but
took
I got
your
a
pick.
solid backup. I'm going to go with Frank Serpico.
Ooh. You can't go wrong there. Vinny.
Big Frank Serpico. All right, I get 2. We're doing a 5-man squad, by the way.
Yeah, we might as well keep going.
Just pick a platoon. So I'm gonna go with Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon.
Ooh.
And then I'm gonna follow it up with Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, we're getting snitches
But that's a
involved.
What?
TV show.
But no, it's a movie. It was
Huggy
a movie.
Bear?
It was a movie with
They did the.
they did a movie on it.
Did they ever do
So that's why I did it.
Did they ever do Kojak in a movie?
They never
'Cause
did
if they
Kojak.
did, I'd be.
You'd be on
Theo?
Kojak. No, we'll do TVs are another one, but I'm going with Martin Riggs and Huggy Bear. You need a good informant, just like we did the interview we had with Andrew Chambers. This guy he was in DEA's #1 weapon, and Jerry Layshawk's been on. It's all about informants, So that's why I put Huggy Bear in my group, because Huggy Bear is going to have RoboCop, Axel Foley, John McClane, and Martin Riggs on a roll. They're going to be locking everybody up because of Huggy Bear. There you go. Who's up next? Vinny, you're up.
I think
Vince,
it's on my sheet. I grabbed the wrong sheet. But this guy brought down an entire organization, so I definitely put him at the top of my list. Richie Roberts, played by Russell Crowe, American Gangster.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that was like you were trying to drop a mic drop moment. Wasn't that good of a pick?
The Academy Award goes to.
Russell Crowe's in here twice. Bud White and Richie Roberts.
Right. I'm surprised that there's Tommy Lee Jones has got a couple out there. I'm surprised he hasn't been picked yet.
Huffle?
I don't have any gender diversity on my team.
Yeah.
I'll trade you. I'll trade you Julie Forrester if you need her.
No. I think I'm going to go with Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling in Silence of the Lambs.
Clarice.
Because she's weird. She can talk to people other people would not want to speak to, probably, or screw the whole thing up, right? Smart.
Well, she's got. I mean, you have to have somebody who can interview people, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, listen to all the people. My guys are going to leave a bunch of people in the dust.
Right,
She's
you
going
need somebody to interview 'em.
interview everybody,
Right.
right?
Well,
All right, Johnny.
The last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, who's not irrelevant, is I need an undercover officer too, so I'm picking Johnny Utah, Keanu Reeves from Point Break.
Point Break. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good movie. But you didn't want to take Keanu Reeves as what was the other Jack Tavern in Speed?
Speed, no. I like Johnny Utah.
That was a better character. That's the character that would more clean up St. Louis is Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah, if he can infiltrate the surfers who are bank robbers, he can take care of anything.
That's a good movie.
Great movie.
That is the draft.
So here's what we
We
ended
got
up
one
with.
more.
Uh-oh. Vince, you had another round?
No, I just had one guy I wanted to add to my team.
All right,
You
if
can't-
you had, let's
there's
go
five.
with an extra one.
Can we sign a free agent? After
Yeah,
the draft?
we're signing the free
Okay,
agent.
we'll
Now the
get
free
one
agent
free
list is
agent pick.
coming. We're doing one free agent pick. Johnny, you start.
All right, so I'm going to pick. I wasn't expecting this. I'm picking. You guys ever see the movie The 7-Ups?
Yeah,
Roy Scheider's character.
great movie.
I think it's Johnny. I mean, it's Bobby Mancuccio or something. Anyway, I can't see without my glasses, and I'm not putting them on right now.
All right, and then John, who do you got?
Well,
As a
I'm going to go another
Minucci,
pick on my
Minucci,
team.
Bobby Minucci.
and I like the guy's whole skill set. Jackie Chan.
you're going with Jackie Chan in the movie. What was that? Rush Hour.
Yeah, Detective Lee.
All right, I think I'm going to go with my free agent. I'm going to try to sign him. Is Samuel Gerard from The Fugitive? Tommy Lee Jones.
That's a great pick.
So he's going to work with Huggy too. I think Huggy's going to be the main portion of my. Huggy's going to help us clear up St. Louis because Huggy's going to be out there on the streets, and then he's going to disseminate information to my other people, and they're going to clean up St. Louis. But go ahead, Vince. You got the last pick.
All right, I'm going to go with Detective Steve Rambo in the Playboy Channel classic 9 Inches of Truth.
That's the steal of the draft.
That is a great way to end the draft.
That's the
almost
pick of the evening,
And we did
man.
not script the ending of that draft.
No,
All right, so some of the from the audience, we had Buford T. Justice from Dave Mueller, Steven Seagal. I heard Steven Seagal is not all that. He's kind of weird.
You ever see the video where he's just like throwing guys around?
He's so weird.
Have you heard people comment about his martial arts ability?
They say
Like guys that
slow.
actually do martial arts. Because this
Yeah.
guy's a fool. Like he's a fool.
No, they got a video out there. Go on YouTube,
Yeah.
and guys are just running at him, and he just goes like chop chop and pushes
Yeah.
them over.
And then they go backstage and they pick up their $250
Right.
This is
to
great.
get thrown around on a mat by fat Steven Seagal.
Then I'd listened to Sammy the Bull tell a story that he was somehow involved in the mob somehow, and they said that they were trying to get him to give them money for any movie he got, and they were going to try to help him get movie scripts or whatnot. And whoever was dealing with him said that he was the biggest pussy that they ever dealt with, and started crying at one point in time.
Any affiliation with Diddy?
You never know. You never know.
Which one of our draft picks would most likely to go to Riverman Cigar Company?
I don't know. Who
Riverman Cigar Company? That's
Riverman Cigar
That's
Company
not
is
far
owned by
from
that's a great place.
Joe,
Joe Ponder.
Joe
Popeye
Ponder's-
Doyle.
I was in there. I stopped in there.
See?
Several, because, you know.
But you didn't tell him you were from the brighter side of blue. You could have some.
I wasn't with the brighter side of blue. You weren't even around then.
Oh, so you haven't been there in a minute.
No, not in a minute.
You need to go back.
You just got the call up today, right?
They are lovers.
I got
of,
the Clarion call to go and.
it's
Joe Ponder's son.
it's not Joe. It's his son, Dan.
No. I mean, his son is. I said Joe Ponder's son.
Okay.
Is a nice guy.
I mix that up all the time. Sometimes we'll be doing the read, and I'll be like, Joe Ponder's a cigar shop. John will look at me.
No,
and go,
I had a conversation.
Who's
Went in
Joe
there to
Ponder?
Get some cigars, and I don't know. It came up that I was a policeman. I said, "Oh, where at?" Told him. He said, "Do you remember my dad?" I said, "Yeah, your dad was a lieutenant in the lab. He was in the lab, I think."
Oh, he was in the relief association, not the relief, but the pension board for the longest.
So what are you telling me I'm wrong?
Yeah, he wasn't a
that what you're
lieutenant.
telling me?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you.
Is it
And
okay?
I hate to do that to you, but
No,
I,
no,
I-
you don't. You
I-
actually
I did,
don't. You don't
I did
hate to do
fact.
that to me.
We don't fact check, but I fact checked you on the spot.
You
Sorry
check-
about that.
yeah, I know.
I should be scolded for that.
Can we? I'm gonna ask Dan. Can we call cigars logs on? Is it acceptable?
Yeah, logs. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, because
Sticks, logs.
because like in mobile, we
Actually,
used to go,
sticks is a sort of a new thing. That's kind of like the term in the industry. I like logs better. That's
logs.
like yeah.
that's manly. Or
Yeah.
And then there's also
Rip a log, pinch a loaf.
so we had Andrew Chambers in, as we talked about earlier, top DEA informant, and who needs a little protection when he comes to town. So we just called Corby Campbell and said, "Hey, can you make sure that that our guest comes in, and he has had threats on his life, and can you make sure that he's okay?" Corby Campbell jumped up and said, "I'll go get him. I'll bring him down there." So, Corby, if you need any security needs, you call Corby Campbell, whether they're business needs or personal needs. He does it all, and he recently worked as we talked about, the national soccer team that was in town, and he helped
Good
them
for
out.
Corby.
So that was a good thing for Corby.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I appreciate. And then I think we're going to end this thing. You know, we've been going for an hour and 23 minutes now.
I have one question.
Yep.
Do you know what the janitor on the Starship Enterprise found in Captain Kirk's bathroom? In the toilet, Captain's log.
I know what the janitor Herb Brown found in the 9th District
Herb
toilet.
Brown, what a classic he was.
You son of a bitch. Hey, buddy. Can you run down to Neva's and get me some of them nuggets? Captain, that dog shit on my floor again. Captain, that dog shit on my floor again.
Herb was the best, man. What a good guy.
They used to
You know
put
what they used to do
plastic
this?
dog shit on the floor right after he waxed
You know what
it.
they used to do this for? And Herb was such a good guy. He was.
He was. He was an awesome.
You know
guy.
what they used to do to Herb? Herb would, you know those roller carts that you stretch the trash bag over and you roll it down a thing? So he'd go through each little office in the old 9th District station, he'd dump the trash. And then he'd go into the bathroom for a second, or the little janitor's closet. Mike Chaucho used to do this all the time. He'd take out his little knife and he'd bend down. He'd put a little slit right in the bottom of his bag. So he couldn't make it all the way down the hall. He'd get about 3/4 of the way down that last trash can, like broke the camel's back. And then the shit would go all over the place. And he'd go, God damn it. God damn it, what makes a man do that? And he'd go right back to the captain's office. He'd tell Captain Tony, God damn it, Captain, I had this whole thing cleaned up. What makes a man do that? He goes, hey, everybody, I don't give a shit. Just clean it up. No sympathy for the devil, man.
Oh, dude.
I would just like to say on behalf of John and myself, thank you, Tom and John, for having
Yeah,
us
thank
on.
you so
No,
much.
that was awesome.
This will probably be the last time we're asked back.
For sure.
No.
But for anybody
never.
out there, we got the call up to the pro team tonight. But if you want to listen to John and I, we'll be in Peoria
Right.
on the minor league show, The Dimmer Side of Blue,
Right.
where we
Right.
talk about deviant police activity.
Right.
Yeah, and
That's what they were talking about before the show.
Yeah. You didn't know that, did you? It was just an organic idea that Vinny, we're starting our own podcast.
We're kind of like the two chicks, talking about sweaty balls.
Yeah.
So moist.
the only sponsor we have is a rehab center.
Well, you're not going to have any sponsors after this, I promise you. That's all out the window.
The dimmer
That's
side,
great.
The dimmer side.
All right. We're out of here. Thank you for tuning in, and definitely tune in next week when we have Nathan
guest.
Speeson. Right, when we have a guest in that may not be like these two, but Nathan, we're really looking forward to
Yeah,
having
like an
Nathan
intelligent
Speeson here.
guest.
And so we'll see you guys next
Mature
week.
guest.
Looking forward to it.
Peace.